Welcome back to another episode of our Creator Team Career Mode here with Cooper F1 Team. Today we are here for the Chinese Grand Prix, round 5 of the championship. And if you did miss the last episode, please feel free to check it out. We had a very mixed Japanese Grand Prix, starting first and third on the grid and falling back to third and ninth with some big mistakes from Oscar Piastri there in the end. But for this Chinese Grand Prix, we're looking to put it all in the past behind us. And we're going to hope for a 5th and 6th as the best results. And we're going to head straight into the Chinese Grand Prix.
We're just getting settled here in Shanghai, ahead of the Chinese Grand Prix. A visit to Shanghai International.
So guys, we're going to do this weekend slightly differently. So we've got a practice, 3 sprint qualifyings, the sprint qualifying and the race. So this first practice session is extremely important for our weekend. And we're going to head straight out with both drivers. And this is the first time that China has appeared on F1 Manager. And I have to say it looks very good. There's absolutely no time to mess around today. We are going to try and nail this setup from the beginning.
Give us a balance check, balance check.
The stability is very poor.
Okay, copy.
Everything okay with the car?
Okay guys, we're going to try and adjust this.
Difficult to drive at the moment.
Understood, thank you.
Try and adjust this for Hulk if we possibly can. Okay. Okay guys, and we're going to go with that on Hulkenberg. And we're going to bring in Piastri as well. Fingers crossed we can nail this setup. We're going for slightly bigger straight line speed this weekend. Okay guys, and we're going to go with that for Piastri. Fingers crossed this is a good option for them. Okay, and we're going to send Hulkenberg back out now on his new strategy. And we're going to send out Piastri as well. We're going to see if they can improve on the lap times now straight away. Piastri up to P3.
Caution on the battery.
Copy.
really focus on cooling tyres.
Yeah. If you could give us a balance check.
It's much better.
Okay, copy that.
And that is ideal from Hulkenberg, a much better setup. So we're going to stick with that for the weekend for him. And we're going to leave him out there on the hard compound tyres. What about Piastri?
How's the balance?
Pretty good, I thought.
Understood.
And it doesn't sound as convincing from Piastri, but we're going to try and improve the setup potentially by just letting them run long. %81 on Hulkenberg. We're going to go with that on him, and we'll see about Piastri as well. And I think we're just going to send him back out on that tyre to make sure that we don't waste any for the weekend. We need a lot of tyres. Right, and Piastri 63. That is definitely not ideal. That is not what we want in the slightest. That is far from ideal for Oscar. And we're just going to revert to it. We won't have enough time to put on the setup. And we're going to send him out for the last bit of the session. So Hulkenberg has the upper hand for setup this weekend. And we're now at the end of the session. Lando Norris topping the group with Piastri second, Leclerc in third, Hulkenberg fourth. As we now head straight into the sprint qualifying.
Welcome everyone, qualifying for the sprint awaits us, and we're raring to get going.
And we're going to get one run in this session. We're going to go out with about 5 minutes left on the clock. And that should be enough to see us through to SQ2. Oh, a red flag.
Let's follow the action now at turn 7. But oh, they can't avoid making contact. And that's not what they would have had in mind when they woke up this morning.
And that
And for the
is
crew
now
watching on in the garage.
that is now a few big incidents for Correa, and Haas will not be too happy whatsoever. Anyway, here we are, and we're now going to send the two drivers out very shortly. Okay, so we're going to send them both out now. And we're going to go on board with Piastri's lap to see how he does. And where are our drivers going to get here in the first part of qualifying? Piastri up to P3, very respectable, but
Currently
Hulkenberg
P3.
should be better. And he goes to the top, Nico Hulkenberg. And Verstappen we're waiting on, P7
Okay.
for him. And a surprise exit for Fernando Alonso in SQ1. SQ2 we're going to jump straight into as well and see what we can do. And we are going to head out once more. And everyone else has done their lap, but we are last to put the laps in, so we'll see how we can do on this run. Should be enough to get us through to Q3. Richard Verschoor looking like he's fully up to speed with that McLaren now. Up there at the top with Lando Norris in a bit of a Red Bull sandwich. Piastri only P6 on that run. Hopefully that will be enough for him.
Yeah, copy.
And here's Hulkenberg to the line. P5.
Currently P5.
Fingers
So,
crossed
cool
that'll be
car,
enough
box,
for
box.
us.
Copy. How is it looking? Okay, copy.
And we scrape through in 6th and 8th there, as the other cars look like they've turned up the engines. Okay, everyone now on softs. And we're going to go out as late as possible. Verstappen, Leclerc and Norris already out there. And our drivers are probably the last of the drivers to go out there, I think. And we're going to start with Piastri. We're going to skip past here to the last part of the lap and see where they can get in this qualifying session on the run up to the line for Piastri. And it's only P7 for Piastri. What about Hulkenberg? Can he do any better? P6. And we don't quite have the pace here today. P6 and P8 in the race for us. And this will make it interesting now for the sprint race.
Well, the excitement levels continue to rise here as the teams prepare for the sprint. Of course, this is the first sprint of the season, adding an extra challenge for the drivers and their teams. But as ever, in Formula One, an extra challenge is an extra opportunity.
And of course, the big incentive here is getting a few extra points on the board, with the top finishers in the sprint set to add to their championship tally.
Well, it's not too long now until the sprint around Shanghai, where we'll see who comes out on top.
And we're not going to waste any time at all, guys. We're going to get straight into the sprint race with both drivers. And we're going to start on the mediums and
Here we
go
go,
all the way to the end.
sprint in Shanghai. And it's lights out, and away we go.
And we're going to go into
Pick up the pace a
Helicam.
bit.
Great start for Piastri, already overtaking the Ferrari. Likewise for Hulkenberg, getting past Verschoor down into turn 1. And Hulkenberg is not just fancying one move, he's looking at Leclerc as well. And that's two brilliant overtakes for Hulkenberg into turn one. He's up to P4. Piastri gets past the Ferrari as well. Will he be able to maintain it? And he does. Oh no, he's still side by side with the Ferrari all the way through this sequence. And he's still trying to get up the inside of Carlos Sainz.
Focus on the race ahead.
And we managed to get past Sainz now. That was a crucial move for our race. Just Norris and the Red Bulls ahead for Hulkenberg. Let's have a look at that beautiful overtake once more. Sweep him round the outside.
Lovely stuff.
We're trying not to push as hard at the
Keep trying to
beginning
drop
here.
temp if you can.
Copy.
DRS has been enabled. So currently P4. And so we've got Perez as the car ahead. 0.4 ahead. .7 behind.
Cool the toss.
Copy. And so we'll drop temp on the rears if you can.
Yep, copy.
Try to cool the car as best you can.
Copy.
And we've got Hulkenberg
You know I got
past
fast
Perez.
Good.
Up
Let's
to
take a closer
P3.
look.
We're going to watch that
Nico
overtake.
Hulkenberg there. Can they squeeze by? Up into third and contending for a podium place.
Just push.
Back through comes Perez for the time being. And it looks like Piastri's in the fight for P5 here in the sprint today. And Hulkenberg still on for the win potentially. Hulkenberg has the fastest lap of the race at the moment. Piastri looking and sizing up Richard Verschoor. And we're going to head down the straight now. And it's not quite for both of our drivers. And we're going to push on both drivers for the next few laps.
Pick up the pace.
And we're through with Hulkenberg on Perez.
Such an awesome job, mate. You've got Norris and car ahead. Gap at 1.8.
Cool the tyres.
Copy. Just remember, overtake is available.
And can we stay ahead of Perez? This is crucial. Yes, we are. And we get good drive off the corner as well. And that will help us propel up to the top two now. Piastri still on the back of Verschoor.
Cool the tyres.
Copy. Just
And
try and keep
Hulkenberg.
these as cool as possible.
And Piastri both trying to use some ERS
Press
to catch up.
overtake. Currently P3. Gap at 1.4. Got Perez behind. Gap at 2.3 now. And think about less lifting coast.
And Verstappen and Norris looking like they're too fast for us at the moment.
So we've just got to stay on top of the management. pick up the pace.
Pick up the pace a little bit from here.
We're looking good at the moment. Even though we can't keep up with the two in front of us, we do have slightly better tyre wear, especially on Lando Norris.
And think about increasing lift and coast just a little.
And the gap's gone back up again. Looks like...
Let's just not cook the tyres.
Good.
Looks like we don't quite have the pace today. Let's skip along and see if anything happens. Either we can catch up or we get caught. And Leclerc has caught and passed us at this point in the race.
There's still a long way to go, mate. So
And
got
it
Perez.
looks like Verstappen.
Gap at
Looks like
2.0.
Verstappen's going to win this race. But can Leclerc pull us up to the back of Lando Norris now with this DRS? This could be exactly what we need. And Piastri all over the back of Vershaw, and Perez is just up the road as well.
We'll drop back to normal pace now.
Yes.
Use your tools.
Copy.
And we're going to go for it, sending it down the inside of Richard Vershaw. Up to P6 for Piastri. And we're using some ERS to pull away as
This
well.
is good work. Currently P3. Norris ahead. So gap.
And we
at
get some
1.5.
DRS to close up to Perez.
Let's not burn these tyres up.
Copy.
We're happy to pick up the pace now and drop this manager. Yeah, we just need to make sure that we don't fall off a cliff on that tyre.
Copy.
And we've dropped behind Leclerc, but we're going to use some ERS and tyres to catch
Overtake
up if
is
we
available.
can.
Copy that.
Keep plugging away. Just keep on top of the management.
Yep.
And Piastri now takes P5. We're going to use some ERS to see if we can
Press
pull
and hold the
away.
overtake.
Yep.
Let's see how he did that. Straightforward move down into turn one, up the inside of Perez. Taking the tight line and getting the move done
Sweet.
before turn two. And we're 1.5 off the back of Lando Norris at the moment. We're going to use some ERS off the corner.
Overtake is available.
Copy.
And we've caught up to the back of Lando Norris now. We're in DRS.
Car behind. Now 0.6. You never know what's going to happen next.
And we're in the DRS, and this is a three-way fight for second place here. Oh, and it's a safety car. This is interesting. Is anyone going to think about a pit stop? Surely not, right?
Temps look
And
good,
it's-
so you can probably afford to push a little bit more.
Oh, and it's Mercedes Civil War here. Both Mercedes going to collide. Hamilton. Oh, no.
Come on, really?
Hamilton
Look
just
at the
lost
team
complete
there. They all
downforce
knew
or
what
missed
that
his
moment-
braking point, and he just ploughed straight into the back of George Russell there. And everyone's going to close up now. Is anyone going to make a potential pit stop? And some people are coming into the pits now. And are we gonna think about the pit stop?
We've had a big crash here. Reports of debris.
Everyone else coming in. I think we're gonna do the same thing as well. We're gonna put on a set of softs on both drivers.
Copy.
And everyone's in. Here come the pit stop wars.
Pit lane.
And here comes Hulkenberg into the pit box.
Sorry about that.
And because of
Currently
that error,
P7.
we've dropped all the way back to 7th and 8th. That is
Gap
very
over
poor.
1.7. The Astra behind. Gap 3.0. So it should be 6 laps. Pack's looking good.
Yep.
Yeah, confirm the safety car will be in this lap. Okay, remember the rules of engagements again.
Copy.
And we've got pass for sure with
So DRS has
Hulkenberg.
been enabled.
And we're going to get Checo Perez as well. And now we're trying to fight and catch the top 3. And we are here with Hulkenberg. And we're back up to where we were. And we've got 2 laps to go. Everyone's fighting it out. Can we make some overtakes? And Hulkenberg up to 4th. It looked like a
4
terrible
ahead.
stop.
So anything
But
could
we are
happen.
right back to where we were before we pitted now. Piastri still seemingly can't make any progress, but Hulkenberg absolutely loving it here on these soft tyres. And he's going for the move on Lando Norris as well.
So we're low on battery at the moment.
We're dropping back, we're low on battery, we've used it all up. And we could have more than one car coming through on us here. We've got Leclerc coming through.
One more lap.
Good.
And we've dropped back severely here.
Just keep trying to drop temp if you can.
Copy.
And that should be it. P5 and P8 for us today. Wasn't quite what we
So we
wanted.
have checkered flag now. So ended up with P5. Difficult day in the office.
Obviously, some things to work on. Yeah, cheers.
So you'll be coming into the pit.
And Nico Hulkenberg there, ending today's sprint in the points.
They've displayed some moments of quality here. All they need now is some fine-tuning to achieve great things.
And there we go. So Hulkenberg climbs 1 place. Piastri not quite. It was a little bit of an unfortunate session for us.
There's tension in the air today, so it must be time for qualifying.
The Shanghai International Circuit is notoriously tough on tyres, so expect to see that factor into the team strategies as they deal with this busy schedule.
Charles Leclerc has been a talking point for many of late. Karun, how do you think he's doing so far?
We saw them set an impressive lap time in practice, so it's a great start as they move into qualifying. But as we all know, a good performance in practice doesn't guarantee success over the rest of the weekend.
Strap yourselves in. This is Formula One.
Okay, and we'll see in this session if we can improve on our P5 and P8 from the sprint. We're going to wait to go out late. Both drivers now going to be sent out. And we'll go on board with both, starting with Hulkenberg. There's no traffic for Hulkenberg, but there is traffic for Piastri. Nice and easy out of the way for him. And it's a good first sector for both. And the middle sectors, it's another green for Hulkenberg and another green for Piastri. As we now head down to the end of the lap for both drivers. Where will this put us? Our only lap of the session, Hulkenberg, P3.
Currently P3. That's a good lap.
And it's P5 for Piastri.
So just confirming boxing and back into the garage.
Copy.
So very straightforward, and we are through from the first part of qualifying. And Alonso, again, knocked out in Q1.
Okay, copy.
Although in the sprint, I think he was able to climb all the way up to, I think, 10th place. So, wasn't a bad showing in the race, but just in the qualifying, getting unstuck there, Alonso. And we're going to go out on the early run on the used set of tyres. Let's just quickly change that over. Oh, we have two sets. Two sets there, so we're going to use these up first. Okay, Piastri, Hulkenberg. Starting the laps on the used tyres.
Didn't get out of the way.
Copy, saw that.
And the Haas impeded us a little bit there. Let's compare the first sector times. 23.8, 23.6. Hulkenberg purple in the first sector. Piastri purple in sector 2. Okay, so we have one purple sector apiece for our two drivers at the moment. Looking like a solid lap. As we come towards the end now, where will Piastri be? And a purple last sector, but we're marginally behind Sainz.
Okay, cool the tyres and we will box this lap. Box this lap.
And there's Nico Hulkenberg going 2 tenths to the top of the standings.
Currently P1.
With
Box,
a few
box,
big hitters
and
still
pull the
to
car.
go.
Copy.
And Verstappen half a second on top.
Let's go pit lane.
And Norris also there in second.
Okay, so box, stop on the box, pre-start rev check and switch off.
And we're going to go out again just for some more experience for Q3. but third and fifth at the moment. It's not terrible. And currently in the drop zone, the only one really of note is George Russell. And Stroll is the man sneaking in, but Russell needs a much better lap this time around. So let's see if we can improve. It is an improvement for Piastri, and it's not an improvement for Hulkenberg at the moment. Not an improvement in the middle for Piastri, but it is for Hulkenberg. So this should be slight improvement for both drivers. Coming towards the end of the lap. And this is Q2 finished. We should already be through, but where will this put us? And Piastri jumps up to third now above Hulkenberg. And that is how it ends. So 200ths difference between our two drivers in P3, well, P4 and P5 actually, with Leclerc going top there in the session. And we now come into the last part of qualifying. We're going to head out on our very worn tyres for the first run. And then the fresh set will be at the end. And we're going to go on board. And we don't expect these laps to be anywhere near. They're very worn, but it is the last round that we're looking for. Yep, Piastri down.
So currently P5. Yep. Pass, go pit lane. Stop at the marks, pre-start rev check and switch off.
Okay, and both drivers back out here for the final runs. And this is important, especially for Piastri down in 8th at the moment. Expecting Sainz to have a good lap time. This should be an improvement all three sectors for both drivers. 20% newer tyre wear. And it is for Piastri straight away and for Nico as well. And another improvement again for Piastri. Very, very nice. Same for Nico. And qualifying is done. 0 seconds left. Perez jumps up to second. First of all, we're going to look at Oscar Piastri. Wow. And he stays 8th. Hulkenberg cuts it down to 4th, but that is a terrible lap for Piastri. And he's moved down by Sainz. It's actually 9th for Piastri in the Grand Prix, but 4th for Hulkenberg. So he moves up 1, Piastri drops 1. He's got a lot to do here, Piastri, in the race.
The 56 laps of the Shanghai International Circuit await our drivers here in China.
Shanghai has seen its fair share of clashes over the years, one of which happened even before the 2005 race had begun, when Michael Schumacher collided with Christian Albers on the way to the grid, sending Albers into the air.
Shanghai International Circuit is a complicated low-speed track that demands high downforce. The series of rapid turns from 1 to 4 demands high grip, but the more the drivers warm their tyres, the more degradation they'll have to deal with. The time has come to fight it out. It's race day.
Okay, so let's take a look to the strategy. Can we do medium, medium, soft? Or medium, soft, medium? So 15 laps, 21 laps, 19 laps, and okay, so it's saying this will be slower. If we can edit this, okay, no, it is saying it will be slower. This is the optimum strategy, so we're going to go for this on both drivers, but we're doing it in the reverse. So we've got Hulkenberg ahead.
Welcome back, everyone. The final preparations are now being made as we head into the race.
To get back from P9 up towards the front, it's going to be a case of executing their strategy well and keeping it clean.
But just what will happen here, your guess is as good as mine. It's almost time for the Chinese Grand Prix. And it's lights out, and away we go.
And it's attack for both drivers off the start.
Okay, so it's closing up a little bit.
Hulkenberg looking for third in turn one. We're trying to go around the outside of Leclerc. And we make it work, up to third for Hulkenberg. Piastri maintains ninth. But the man...
Even though I've got fast, Mike.
But the man who's
You're
on
doing a great
the
job,
hards is in
Currently
third,
P3.
and the man on the softs is struggling. Should surely get past the 5 in front up to P5. And look at that, the Ferraris looking like they're changing positions. And we're already dropping off Verstappen.
So we'll drop temp on the rears if you can.
Copy.
DRS has been enabled. Currently P4. So
And we're
it's
trying to
Leclerc
stay
car
there
ahead.
behind Leclerc.
So 0.5 ahead to Leclerc. Sainz now car behind.
And we're right up behind the back of George Russell, and we're past there already.
So focus on cooling the tyres.
Yep. So cool the car.
Copy.
Try to cool the car as best you can.
Yeah.
And there's Piastri, and he's struggling down in 8th, as is Hulkenberg in 4th. Down to 5th for Hulkenberg, and Piastri down to 9th. We're struggling in the race. And as long as we can try to stick with the cars ahead, Verstappen, we're only 1.8 behind him. And Piastri finally gets past Russell. And we're looking at the back of Vasseur now for 7th. This is better progress from Piastri up to P7. We need to try and drop Vasseur if possible. And we have. That is crucial for our race. Oh, but he looks like he's gaining so much on the straights again. But yes, now Hulkenberg versus Norris. We have about a 3-second gap.
Overtake available.
Yeah, copy that.
To Max Verstappen.
Let's just keep pulling the gap.
Copy.
And we're going to try and use everything down this straight to pull away. And we have. And Piastri trying to close up to the back of Lando Norris.
Car is off.
Vasseur has other ideas.
Yellow's ahead.
Yep.
We've got a yellow flag here.
And it's an Albon spin.
Okay, crack on. Russell now the car behind. Gap 3.1.
Just try and keep these as cool as possible.
Copy.
Straight back through comes Hulkenberg. And look, there's the 4 in front. They're all squabbling.
Such an awesome
And this
job, mate.
surely works for us. But Piastri just cannot clear Vasseur.
Gap to Verstappen at 3.4.
And it looks like he doesn't quite have the pace in this Grand Prix. But 2 seconds between Hulk and the leading pack.
So let's get after it.
Crash involving multiple cars. And it's a crash for
Got massively
Ocon.
hit, guys.
And Esteban Ocon now in
And
20th
clearly
place.
they're not.
And we're trying to close up to the back of this front 4. And we are there with Verstappen. And we're trying to come back through on Vasseur.
Let's just cook the tyres.
Copy.
And we are trying
Press and
to
hold the
use
overtake.
the ERS to close up.
Crazy slow.
So head down now. They got
And
Piastri
it's
car
P6,
behind.
P7.
Gap 2 seconds.
We're going to use some fuel and burn that off as well.
You can cancel or reduce lift off where possible.
Copy.
And it's DRS once more for Hulkenberg. And with Lando Norris, he is also on hards, Norris. Okay, so Verstappen, Norris, Hulkenberg all on the hards. This is the race for us. And we are losing time constantly to Verstappen. Still getting the DRS. And it's back under 3 seconds. They're doing well to control the gap. We're not trying to burn too much tyres. We've still got plenty in hand. Actually, we might have to push here just to stay in the
Close up.
DRS.
Increase lift and coast just a little.
Yeah.
And Piastri's been dropped.
Just need to make sure we keep these tyres in good nick.
Copy.
At least we've left Vasseur behind though, so this hopefully is enough for P7, but Vasseur is also on the hards. And now
Just keep trying to drop temp if you can.
Yep.
If you can update your tyre switch.
Tires, everything is good. Copy.
and Russell lock up, but now it's all going well for us. We are there with Norris again. Looks like the soft tyre is not a very good race tyre. Perez in the pit lane.
And we'll push.
We're going to push with Piastri as well.
So really focus on cooling tyres.
Copy. Copy.
Let's push.
And this is the lap to pit to mediums for Piastri.
Box and pit confirm. Box, pit confirm.
Just think about the management. You can just increase it just a fraction.
Yeah.
And we're in the pit lane. And it's a mechanical fault for Charles Leclerc.
Quiet, big vibration.
And he currently sits in P3, Leclerc. .7.
And white line on the exit.
Currently P10.
Gap 10. Behind you have Fernando. Gap behind 3.7. Cool the tyres.
Yeah. Copy.
Looks like Lando
Right there.
Norris
You can
had an
take a
issue
look
there.
now. Along the straight here. Not a lot of wiggle room here. And oh, that's obviously far from intentional, but there was contact. I imagine their confidence will have taken a knock.
And that is far from ideal for Lando Norris running P2 in the Grand Prix. But now we are very close to the back of him. And Hulkenberg keeping with Lando Norris at the moment.
So we're ready for you.
Yep.
That's between lap 20 and 26, as we've seen. Soft's not the best tyre. Wow, look at that. Sainz will be right at the front. Ferrari have immense pace this weekend. And Piastri is now on the back of Tsunoda and Russell. And we're past we're past Russell now. We're going to be 12 seconds off the back of Verstappen. And Sainz is already on the back.
And let's push. Let's just keep it up. Perez behind. Box.
What's this lap?
Just keep the pressure on. You can do this.
And there's Lando Norris coming out of the pit
Good lane.
box now. And there's an issue once again with the pit box.
Yeah,
And
sorry about that.
that is not great at all for us. We're now
So
6 seconds
P7.
off Norris.
Piastri car ahead now. Alonso car behind. 2.1 behind.
We won't
So
do that at
head
the
down.
moment.
We'll drop back to normal pace now.
Yep, copy.
At least hopefully it's going to be a minimum of P6 and P7 today, but Aston Martin are looking very fast as well.
Those tyre temps look good.
Piastri has to make it to lap 38 on these tyres. And we're going to push a little bit of fuel at the moment as well with our
We
two
can drop the
drivers.
lift coast for now, we'll make it up later.
What tyre is Fernando on? He's on mediums.
So we'll drop temp on the rears if you can.
Copy.
We need a lift off at this stage.
Copy, box. Copy.
And there we go. There's Piastri letting Hulkenberg go. And we don't have the pace with the top guys today. Looks like this car doesn't really suit the track, but we're giving it our best shot. And we are starting to close in on Charles Leclerc.
Management levels look good.
And we have closed right up to the back of Leclerc now.
Let's just
P5
not
could be
cook
on the
the tyres.
cards. Leclerc has an issue. And here we are down the straight. Can we get him up the
Plug
inside? Not quite on Leclerc, but we get him now.
Just do what you
We're going to
can.
use some ERS to try and get out of the DRS range. And we have done so very, very quickly. Leclerc with his mechanical has given us a perfect P5, and we're going to try and do the same with Oscar Piastri as well. And we're going to skip along here as well. We're starting to pull away from Leclerc, and Piastri slowly catching up as well. And we have Sainz all over the back of us
And
on
what's
his
that?
mediums.
A pit stop issue.
Sainz is already back past. Perez in the pit lane as well.
Temps look good, so you can probably afford to push a little bit more. Just try and keep these as cool as possible.
Yep.
Perez overtakes Piastri, but will he get the DRS? He does. That will help drag him along towards Leclerc a little bit there. 3.7. 3.2 to the Ferrari. And Verstappen's going back on hards. Very interesting choice for Verstappen.
Yeah, increase your gap again. Box.
Copy. Box.
In the pits for Piastri. Pit
lane speed limits are off. So you are P9 at the moment. Alonso ahead. Gap 2 seconds. Okay, gap behind now 3.9.
Now right behind Leclerc, who's made his pit stop onto softs.
Pit lane.
And let's see, and hopefully Hulk has a better pit stop as well. Much better as we go on to mediums for Hulkenberg.
So you'll be all clear on exit.
And that's perfect. We have plenty of space for
So
the cars
currently
behind.
P6. That gap now at 3 seconds. Alonso car behind.
And for sure has one more pit stop to go as well. Sainz is going to struggle to the end.
Let's not burn these tyres up.
Yep.
Looks like
Currently
P5 and
P6.
6 is the goal today.
Gap at 4.5. Alonso behind. Gap 10.2. So tyre temps do look good.
Copy. So just focus on bringing the tyre temperatures down.
Copy.
And it's 12 seconds to Leclerc behind. P5 should be safe for Hulkenberg. He's in a league of his own. And we're dropping back slightly from Leclerc, but he's using up much more of his tyres. Oh dear, and I didn't realise we've got Vershaw behind us as well with 12 laps to go. We need to try and get Alonso as fast as possible. But it looks like we're dropping back from Fernando.
Free to push.
Yep.
Cool the tyres.
Yeah. Copy.
Another fastest lap for Vershaw. And Alonso has got past Leclerc at this point in the race.
Need to introduce a small amount of lift and coast.
Copy.
And think about less lift and coast.
Copy.
And at this point in the race, looks like Leclerc could get P9.
Yep.
You've got the margin to push.
And we'll push.
Just increase lift off. Focus on cooling the tyres.
Yeah.
You can pick up the pace a little bit for the moment. Press and hold the overtake.
Copy, copy.
We have Piastri now on the verge of DRS, and he has got DRS off the back of Leclerc. And he's passed Leclerc now, P8 with 4 laps to go. And look at that, Hulkenberg, out of nowhere, is now 6 seconds behind Perez.
Just keep trying to drop temp if you can.
Good.
So it'll be 4 laps remaining when you cross the line.
Copy.
Good to push up. We do not require any fuel liftoff.
Copy.
So pick up the pace, pick up the pace. Increase liftoff for the brakes.
Copy.
Come on, mate.
And we have a chance for P7 with Piastri. And here we are now, Piastri in the DRS range.
Final lap.
Copy.
And we're not close enough on this occasion, but we have another DRS zone to try and overtake Alonso into. And we're right on the back of him for P7. Surely it's going to be done this time.
Keep trying.
And past Alonso we go. Up into P7 for Piastri now. Hulkenberg all the while gaining on Perez, but I don't think it'll be enough come the end of the race. And we're very close to getting Alonso out of DRS, and we have done so.
Copy.
And Hulkenberg,
Press and hold the overtake.
Yeah.
he's going to come to the line in P5. Fantastic result from him today, maximising the points.
So we have taken the flag. So
And
it's
there's
P5.
Oscar Piastri.
Win so much more.
And for him, P7.
Good job, guys.
So you'll be coming into the pit lane.
Focus on bleeding some temperature.
Copy.
Okay, that's the checkered flag. Well finished.
Yeah.
Not terrible for us today.
That's Oscar Piastri after what was a very exciting Grand Prix.
7th place at the end of that one, and some points for the team.
And Carlos Sainz heading up to the podium now, the Spaniard adding another to his record.
What an excellent way to take a second win of the season, with a composed performance today.
And that's the podium complete for the Chinese Grand Prix.
Okay guys, so as you can see, again we have Verstappen and Norris on the podium, this time joined by Sainz, who pulls off a fantastic win, up 5 places to win this Grand Prix. Hulkenberg dropping down 1, Piastri gaining 2, and Verschoor with the fastest lap. And now with that win, Carlos Sainz back to the top of the championship, with Lando Norris and Verstappen shortly behind in 2nd and 3rd. Leclerc drops behind Hulkenberg, who now has 4th in the championship. And we have 6th for Piastri at the moment as well. And in the Constructors, Red Bull overtake McLaren, and we drop down to 4th in the Constructors, but way out ahead of 5th place. So, still a good season for us at the moment. And off the basis of that, oh, manufacture complete, underfloor. We have the wind tunnel, and it's the Miami Grand Prix next. We're just going to quickly head across to the car development. Okay, so 11 days left on these two, and then we'll be able to bring those into existence. Okay. Right, let's have a look at this. And we're going to manufacture one new floor for the time being. Got the race day in 7 days. Okay, right, we're going to go to the inbox. Okay. Four days left on this, and then we can start to manufacture these new parts. Okay, so they're improving a little bit. We have Piastri going up some as well. Okay, right, let's have a look here. Looks like their chance of mistake is massive. So what we are going to do is just do that. So it has a chance of them getting well rested. And the design center improvement, that's fantastic. We can now go to manufacture the suspension. Oh no, we're currently trying to do the new suspension, but we can do the underfloor for the time being. We don't have much cash available to us. Nope, and we actually can't do that at the moment. We are a little bit stuck on cash, so we'll have to wait until after the Miami Grand Prix, guys. So if you did enjoy this episode, please make sure to like, comment and subscribe, and I'll catch you for the next one. Take care all. Peace.